There is so much youth in this group right now. I feel pretty good, pretty sure that these two secondary transfers that they brought in, Dylan Thieneman coming over from Purdue at safety, Theron Johnson coming over from Northwestern at corner, I feel fairly solidified that those are going to be plug-and-play starters, but then you got to figure out the other three positions in the back end of this defense. We'll see what Kobe Savage does. I think that's a little bit of a pivot point as well for the secondary. But when you look at these young guys, there are all kinds of names, folks. All kinds of names. Jaleel Florence, Sione Lalea, right? Those are guys that have been around this program a couple of years. Jaleel Florence was banged up this season. I think if Jaleel Florence is healthy, he plays a very big role on this Ducks defense in 2024. But I think the smart money for maybe the starting corners for next year is Theron Johnson on one side and Jaleel Florence on the other side. But then you start to get into guys that have been on campus for a year or two. The Peyton Woodyards, the Roderick Pleasants, Dakota Fields, Aaron Flowers, low 5-star, high 4-star, top 100, top 150, top 200 players in their class. And they've been on campus now. They've learned the scheme. Now it's time to maybe translate that, and they are going to be expected. I'm not saying all of them, but I think there's going to be a good amount of young guys that are going to be expected to come into pretty significant roles for this defense in 2025. And then how these true freshmen. You look at Trey McNutt, you look at Naeem Offord, you look at Dorian Brew. Kind of like these other guys that have been on campus for a year. I said, hey, maybe not all three of those guys are going to, and Brandon Finney is another one of those guys, right? That are going to be expected to step up in and play on the field a good amount, but maybe one of them will, maybe two of them will, right? So you want to make sure that they're ready to certainly step into that role when that comes time. But the secondary, that's the big one. Those are the big questions